And we are live. Testing. Hold on. My mic ain't working. 1 second. Testing. Hello, hello. What is going on? Hello, hello. Well, this ain't good. Check, check. Testing. Check, 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 check. Hold up. Something's going on. Hello. Hello, hello. Testing. Hello. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if y'all can hear me. 1 second. Crap. I don't know what's going on. Hello, hello, hello. It says my mic's working, but I can't hear y'all in my ears. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay. I don't know how to test to see if this is working. What the heck? Test, test. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. Testing, testing. 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 Should be live. It's on there. It says my mic's working, but it's not coming through my headphones. So I don't know why it's Hello. Go to Facebook. Testing. What the heck? Maybe my volume's down. Can you hear my voice? You can hear me? Okay, cool. We're just gonna run with it. All right, bye. Sorry, guys, we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear anything. Okay. Okay, now it just started working. What the heck? All right. Sorry about that. Now it's working. All right. And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mack to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What is going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all have a great Monday. Start your week off right, and you won't be disappointed. Today we got a cool little topic we're going to talk about, and it's very personal to me, and I think y'all can benefit from it. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today. And if you follow me on social media, more specifically Facebook, you probably saw this post that I put up, but August 6th of this year marks 2 years of me being sober from alcohol. So it's been a long but short, quick 2 years at the same time. Hadn't always been easy, but I think it's been worth it, and I think y'all can benefit from from my experience. So I wanted to talk about it on here on the podcast. So not a lot of people know, if you know me, not a lot of people know that I've been on this kind of sobriety journey. And I want to say, to preface this, like, the goal wasn't to be sober. Like, I didn't really set out to be sober, to like go on a sobriety journey. It just kind of happened that way. It just kind of worked out that way. And it's been 2 years now. So I had no goal in mind. I had no intent to go 2 years. Like, there was nothing in mind. Like, I literally woke up one day, August 5th, I was at my cousin's wedding, and of course there's free drinks at a wedding, like most of them. And let's just say I got I took advantage of the free drinks a little too much, if you know what I'm saying. And I woke up the next day feeling absolutely terrible. I feel like crap, hungover, throwing up, headache, down bad. The older you get, the worse your hangovers get. Like, my hangovers will last for a whole day, if not 2 days at this point. So I just got tired of it. I got tired of feeling bad, feeling like crap. So I literally just said, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to take a break. And I didn't put no time limit on it or no goal or nothing like that. I literally just said, I'm going to stop drinking because I'm tired of feeling like this. And I hadn't drank a sip of alcohol since that day. And that's been 2 years ago. I know 2 years in the grand scheme of things is really not that long. But when you've been drinking for years and then you hadn't had a sip in 2 years, that's a long time, a very long time. If you don't believe me, try to do it yourself. It's a lot harder than you think. But yeah, I wouldn't say like I didn't identify as an alcoholic. I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic by no means. I didn't drink very often. Yeah, when I was younger, I probably did. I did a lot. But once I got out of college, I didn't really care to party no more. I wasn't in that stage. But I still drank every now and then. I didn't do it very often, but when I did, like on the weekend, I would overdo it. I would do it way too much. Like, I didn't believe in, casual drinking. That wasn't the thing. I didn't just want to just sip on a beer, like that wasn't me. Like, if I was going to drink, I was drinking to get drunk. Like, that was the goal. Like, I was drinking, I was at a place where I was hanging out with friends or something, and that was the goal. And I didn't really think it was a problem because I didn't do that often. Like, I probably only drank like once a month or so, if that. But when I got drunk, like, I got all the way drunk, like sloppy sober. I mean, not sloppy sober. Sloppy, what's the word I'm looking for? Way overdid it, what I'm trying to say. I didn't really realize it was a problem until after I quit. Like, I didn't really think I had a problem until after. Sorry if I sound kind of nervous talking about this. I never really talked about this before publicly. This post that I made on Facebook, if you hadn't, go check it out. It's the kind of the first time I've ever said anything publicly about it. So I don't really feel too comfortable talking about it. I know it's a good thing that I've quit, but like, I don't feel comfortable talking about my past. You know what I'm saying? But I think it'd be cool for y'all to hear. I think it'd be beneficial for y'all. So trying to be vulnerable with y'all and share a little bit about my past. It's not something I do very often. I don't like being vulnerable. I'll be honest. I just don't like it. I'd rather just keep it to myself and not share with other people. And that's just me. Like, I'd rather just shove it down and forget about it. But yeah, so I've been going 2 years now. 730 days I haven't had a sip of alcohol. And it was a good decision. I'll put it that way. Like, I'm not mad by no means. I'm actually very glad. And I'm very proud of myself for doing it. And it's been pretty much good in every way. I don't really see any negatives of drinking alcohol. And that was one of the main reasons that I decided to stop, because I got to the point where I didn't really see any positives in drinking alcohol. You know what I'm saying? There's no positive benefit of drinking alcohol. The only argument I think you could possibly make for alcohol being good for you is that it helps you have a better time when you're in social settings. Like if you're out in public hanging out with friends or you're in social places, it can help with you being more sociable. Because when you get a little buzz, you loosen up, you're more talkative, and you're not as shy. And that was definitely true for me because I'm very shy. Like I'm not gonna come up and talk to you. I'm just not. Like you're probably gonna have to talk to me first, unless we know each other. Then I will talk to you. But if you're a stranger, I'm probably just not gonna talk to you. No, that's not because I don't like you or I don't want to talk to you. It's just because I'm shy. I am. Like when it comes to being in public places, like I'm not very outgoing. So if you see me, you can come to me, talk to me, and I love to talk to you, and I will. But I'm probably not gonna come up to you first, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's probably the only benefit or positive. I wouldn't even say it's a benefit. I would say that's probably the only argument you could have for saying it's good for you. Other than that, there's nothing positive that comes from drinking alcohol. There's really not. Like, not for me at least. Maybe you could think of one or two, but not for me. There was nothing positive whatsoever. So it just didn't make sense. It don't make sense to do it. It really don't. Like I learned that you don't need alcohol to have fun. Like you don't need alcohol to be, out in public places and be with strangers. Like you can still be sober and have a good time and meet other people and like hang out and do things like that. But what you will find is when you are sober, you tend to not find yourself in those places. If that makes sense. Like now that I don't drink, like I'm not going to places where I feel like I need a drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to the bar. I'm not going to a party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing things like that. So I'm not really as tempted and don't really feel the need to do it. But yeah. So that was one of the reasons. There's a lot of reasons why I quit drinking. One, because I felt terrible after I did. Two, because there was really no positives. Three, because it was having an effect on my marriage. And I didn't really realize it at the time, but I know now. There's several reasons. 4 religious reasons. Me and my wife got back into church, and I just really felt I felt like the need to quit. So that was another reason. There's a lot of reasons. I can think of many. There's many reasons why I did it. It wasn't just one particular reason, one single reason. There's a lot that went into it, but they all just kind of played a role. Like they all, it was positive for all those areas. Like it had a positive outcome on all those areas, a ton of outcomes. I mentioned like my marriage. It also helped, just with my self-image, helped with mental clarity, helped with my focus, helped with my diet, my training. That was another reason. I was getting really serious about my fitness at the time. I was training for Ironman at the time. I was getting really into my training. So it helped with that, helped with my diet, helped with my outlook on life. When you're drinking a lot, you don't realize it, but you're kind of just numbing yourself. You're kind of just numbing the pain and to forgetting about everything else. When you drink, you're kind of just covering up your feelings, your emotions. So that was one thing I was doing. I wasn't able to connect with my emotions. I was just kind of drowning them out with alcohol, So that was another reason. Another thing that I got out of it. I was able to, have those feelings and connect more on an emotional level. As men, we're kind of taught to just kind of suck it up and get over it. You're not really supposed to have feelings as a man, which I know now is not really the case. Men do have feelings, and you should be able to, express those. I know we don't want to. Like I don't want to. Like I don't like talking about my feelings. You can ask my wife. I'm not very open about my feelings, about being vulnerable. So this podcast is kind of hard for me to do, just talking about it, because I don't feel comfortable doing it. I never have, been comfortable doing stuff like this. And honestly, it's just because I never really had somebody to talk to about it, I guess. And I didn't really want to. Like I didn't want to. Like if you asked me about it, I probably wouldn't have answered you. I probably would have just deflected your question somehow. And I don't really know why I do that, but I just don't like it. I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. So it is what it is. You probably have that same feeling. You probably feel the same way. And if you don't, good for you. So yeah, I've changed a lot in this time. I could talk a lot about things that have changed during this time, but I don't really have time to get into all of it. But one thing I did notice is that, like, as soon as I quit alcohol, as soon as I cut it out, like, as soon as I did that, I realized that, alcohol really had no purpose in my life. Like, it had no place. Again, like I said earlier, there was no positive benefit that I got out of it. It literally didn't do anything positive for me. Like it had nothing but negative effects. Like it may have helped you out for a few hours, like I said, to have a good time, to hang out with some friends or whatever you're doing. That was maybe a few hours of positive benefits, but after that, like it was nothing but negative effects, negative consequences that came out of drinking every time I did it. So it was like it was a lose-lose situation, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention that alcohol is terrible for your health, like terrible. I can get in a little bit more about, alcohol and your health and how it can affect your fitness journey in a little bit. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, it's terrible for you on top of that. But with that being said, I am not anti-alcohol by no means. I don't want you to think that like I hate alcohol or like I'm against alcohol. I'm really not. Like I really don't care if you drink alcohol. Like if you want to drink alcohol, then by all means go for it. Like it does not bother me one bit. I don't care what you do. I really don't. Like I'm not going to think of you differently if you drink alcohol. I don't think alcohol is bad necessarily. As long as you can drink responsibly and as long as you can drink in moderation, I don't think there's an issue with it. But as soon as you get out of moderation and you start going overboard with it and it starts to become a problem, then I don't think it's okay. I do think it's a bad thing for you specifically if you can't do it in moderation, if you can't do it responsibly. So what I mean responsibly, like don't be drinking and driving. Don't be drinking when you have your kids around. Don't be drinking, when you got things to do, when you got responsibilities to do. If you got to go to work or if you got to be somewhere, like you shouldn't be drinking then. You should be drinking responsibly when you know you're at home or you're somewhere where you can do it safely. So I don't think there's a problem with that. And I think most people, they don't do it in moderation and they don't do it responsibly. So it is a problem for a lot of people. But as long as you're doing it within those parameters, I think it's okay. And at some point in my life, I probably will have a sip of alcohol at some point. I probably will. I may have a beer at some point in my life. I probably will. So I'm just saying that because I don't want you to think I think different of you, or I don't want you to think I think less of you, or that I'm better than you, or I'm superior to you, just because I don't drink. Like, no, that's not the case. Like, I literally drank for years, so I have no right to judge you or someone for it because I did it myself, and I don't think any differently of you because you do it. But don't let it become a problem if you are going to do it. But for me, in my life right now, continuing on, like, I'm going to continue not to do it, like not to drink, because I just don't see the need to do it right now. Like I don't need to. I'm just going to continue, not to participate. So what does this mean? This means that, like, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no to a lot of things, like, social gatherings, events, going out to places that, kind of involve drinking, being at people in, certain parties, people's houses and things like that involve drinking. I'm probably not going to go. I'm probably going to say no. Or if I do go to something, I'm probably going to leave early. That's just how it is, because I go to bed early now, because I'm not up at all hours of the night, staying up doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And that's okay. Like, I don't have to do those things. I've kind of done those in the past. I had my fun, and now I'm good. Like, I can move on from that. Unfortunately, like, a lot of my relationships with friends and stuff, they're not as strong as they used to be, because a lot of my friendships were kind of centered around, alcohol and things like that. But I still love all my friends. I still love them. If they need something, they can hit me up, and I will do everything I can to help them out. Just because they drink and I don't anymore, don't mean I don't like them no more, or that don't mean I'm not friends with them no more. We just can't hang out like we used to, because if you're going to be drinking and things, then I don't necessarily want to be around it, or I'm going to be tempted to do it. So I typically just won't find my place in those settings. And honestly, like, once you stop drinking, you don't really want to be in those settings, because I don't know if you've ever been the sober person at a party before, but it's not fun. You're the only one that's sober and everybody else has been drinking. Like, it's not fun. People tend to get annoying when they're drinking and you're not drinking. So I think that's kind of why everybody drinks if they're at a party, so it don't get that way. But yeah, I mean, it's not that, I'm different than anybody else. It's just we kind of have different goals. We have different ambitions and things like that. And when you do, you typically will find yourselves, going down different paths, going down different directions, hanging out in different places, hanging out with different people. And that's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not against that at all. Like, you do what you want to do. If you think it's right for you in your life, then go for it. Like, that's cool with me. It don't bother me one bit. So yeah, within these past 2 years, I've been able to accomplish some pretty cool things. If you listen to the podcast, you definitely know I talk about it all the time. I know you're probably tired of me talking about it, tired of listening about it. But I've done a lot of things in these past 2 years. In just 2 short years, I've done an Ironman, I've done a bodybuilding show, I've done 100-mile ultramarathon. And that's just, kind of the 3 big things. But I've done a lot of other things during that time as well. I'm not saying I did all these simply because I was sober. Like, yeah, that definitely helped. And you can definitely do this if you drink alcohol 100%. Like, you don't have to be sober to complete these things. But it definitely helps if you are sober. But one thing I do kind of give credit to being sober is the amount of, mental clarity that I have, the amount of focus that I have, the amount of ambition and purpose and drive and things like that. I do kind of give that, I kind of credit those to being sober because they're kind of a result of being sober. If you're drinking all the time, you can't really have, that clarity, the focus and, drive and stuff like that to do, bigger and better things. I'm not saying you can't, but it definitely helps if you can, have a clear mind and things like that. But yeah, so that's just a few things. I could talk all day about, things in my life that's changed on this journey. And maybe we'll get into that, another day. But I want to not make this podcast super long. But yeah, one reason I want to do this podcast, so you probably read, if you've read the post, one reason I want to talk about this is because I'm proud of myself and the things I've been able to accomplish. In these past 2 years, I hadn't been very vocal about, my sobriety journey. I am vocal about, all the things I've accomplished in all my workouts and my trainings and things like that because I post on social media. I mean, that's what I do. I make content, and that's probably why you're listening to this podcast now. But, so yeah, I've just been proud of myself. But 2, I want to share this because I hope to inspire someone else to make a change in their life, whether that be, quitting alcohol, quitting smoking, tobacco, whatever it is, something that's holding you back. It may be like porn or something like that you're doing that is not in your best. You're not in your best interest. So I just challenge you, and I hope this inspires you to kind of cut out those things that's keeping you from reaching your full potential. There's something that you have in your life that may be holding you back, and that's what this podcast is about. So you know what that thing is. So go ahead and tackle that thing, tackle that giant in your life so that you can live the life that you were meant to be living. I always like to say, working on yourself is not selfish. It's selfless. So y'all heard me say that before on the podcast. I like that a lot. I like that topic. So that's kind of like a little bit about, my journey. Like I said, it's only 2 years. It hasn't been super long. It is a long time to quit if you've been doing it for a while. Yeah, it's been nothing but positive. Like, I don't really see any negatives of quitting. I mean, besides maybe not having as many friends and stuff. But honestly, as we get older, we kind of lose friends anyway, just because we're all doing different life things. People are having kids, people are moving away, people are getting different jobs, people have different interests, they get into different things. So it's like, as you get older, that kind of just happens. And that's just how life works. That's just part of it. But yeah, that's a little bit about my journey. I don't know. I feel weird talking about that. I don't know why. I did a podcast episode last year when I hit 1 year. And I talked a little bit about it, but I didn't go like real into detail or anything. I did talk a little bit about it. But with this, while we're talking about this topic, I want to talk a little bit about, how cutting alcohol out can really help your fitness journey. So that's what we're going to get into now. That way we can, keep it relevant to the podcast and about fitness. So that was a little bit about, my story and how I was able to accomplish some big, incredible feats while, being sober. So building that like sobriety is kind of like a foundation, for success, not just like in health, but in life as well. So how can alcohol hold you back in your fitness progress? Well, one, sleep disruption. When you drink alcohol, you have very, very poor sleep. You have poor recovery as a result of poor sleep. You have lower energy as a result of poor sleep, and reduced muscle growth as a result of poor sleep. Also, dehydration. Dehydration is going to impact your strength. It's going to impact your endurance and your overall performance. Also, alcohol is a bunch of empty calories. So if you drink alcohol, you probably know there's a lot of calories in it. And calories are not good for you if you're trying to lose weight, obviously. It's going to slow your fat loss, and it's going to mess with your nutritional goals. Now, everybody knows that. Alcohol is very, very calorie heavy. Because everybody knows you're not just drinking 1 or 2 drinks. You're going to drink a lot more than that. But, yeah. Another reason it holds you back is hormone disruption. So it's going to lower your testosterone, lower your growth hormone levels, and it's going to affect your muscle building. And then also increased inflammation. This is a big one. Inflammation is huge. It's going to slow your healing from workouts, and it's going to increase soreness when it comes to your workouts. So we all know inflammation can kind of hinder your results. So what's going to happen when you remove this alcohol from the equation? One, you're going to have better recovery. You're going to have a higher quality sleep. You're going to have faster muscle repair. You're not going to be as sore. You're going to have more energy. So when you have no hangovers, you're not going to have any sluggish mornings. You're going to have better gym performance. You're going to be able to actually go to the gym and work out because you're not going to be hungover. Most time, if you drink the night before, you're just not going the next day, period. You're going to have faster progress. So weight loss goals are going to be easier. Strength goals are going to be easier when you're not, using all those liquid calories of drinking. You're going to have sharper focus. So you're going to have more discipline in your training. You're going to have more discipline in your nutrition. So that's just overall better focus, not just for fitness, but everything for your work, relationships, just day-to-day stuff. And you're also going to have improved mental health. So it's going to have reduced anxiety, reduced depression. It's going to lead to a better relationship with exercise. So a lot of people don't realize this, but alcohol is a depressant. It's a depressant. It's not something you should be drinking to make you feel better, because it don't do that. It actually kind of does the opposite effect of that. It makes it worse. So yeah, especially if you're depressed and then you drink on top of that, you're just making it worse. So don't do that. So sobriety gives you like a mental edge when it comes to your fitness. It helps you with your commitment. When you're sober, you can build more self-discipline, and this is going to carry over to your workouts. When you're sustaining from alcohol, when you're saying no to that one thing, then it helps you when it comes to your commitment to your fitness goals, because you can say no to other things. You can say no to bad food, junk food, whatever, and it's going to help you with your workouts. It's also going to make you more resilient. So you've already overcome a tough challenge of quitting alcohol. So it makes pushing through like workouts a lot harder. Helps pushing through, a hard run harder. It makes it feel easier. Also, time management. So you have no wasted recovery days when you're from drinking, because you're not missing training days. You're not waking up hungover. You're not, behind. You're gonna still go to the gym the next day. You're not missing training opportunities. So your time management is gonna be better, and you're gonna hit your goals faster. And you're also gonna have clarity in your goal setting. So it's easier to stay consistent when your mind's clear. When your brain's not, foggy and things like that. So tips for someone who wants to combine sobriety with their fitness goals. So replace drinking occasions with active hobbies. So running, lifting, cycling, whatever you do, swimming, whatever it is for you. Use fitness milestones as new highs. So instead of drinking, use fitness milestones like, running your first marathon, hitting a PR in the gym, completing a race, whatever it is, hitting a new max, squat, bench, whatever. So use those fitness milestones as a new goal. Surround yourself with people who not only support your sobriety, but also support your fitness journey. You always hear the quote, you're an average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Well, that's pretty much true. So find people that support you both in both ways, not just your fitness goals, not just your sobriety, both. There's people out there, I promise. Then keep track of your progress, both physical and mental. Write it down in a journal, or keep track of your workouts, your weight, things like that. Keep a log of it. And then celebrate your sober milestones just like you would celebrate, your fitness milestones. Say you would celebrate when you lose 20 pounds, when you lose 50 pounds. Well, celebrate your sober milestones the same way. So like I'm celebrating my 2 year. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah. When it comes to no drinking, you don't really have to quit forever. I'm not saying you need to be 100% sober. But try it, see if you like it, and you may see some benefits from it. You just focus on one day at a time. I'm not saying you have to quit by all means. It's not necessarily good for you. You probably should quit from health reasons, but it is what it is. I know it's very tempting. Like I know I used to do it myself. It's very tempting to do it. It's fun, but when you really think about it, it really don't have no benefit. It's really not much to it. So just reducing your alcohol can go a long ways too. Like if you're drinking, just reduce it back, how much you're doing it. It can improve your fitness goals a lot, your fitness progress. So try to do that too if you can. Cut it back to, if it's more than once a week, cut it back to once a week. If whatever you're doing, whatever you're, if it's once a month, cut it back to once every other month, whatever. So every workout, every sober day, that's a win for your health. That's how you got to look at it. It's a win for your health. So if I can go from where I was drinking all the time, binge drinking, feeling bad, terrible, overdoing it. If I can go from that to, completing Ironman, completing a bodybuilding show, completing a 100-mile marathon, if I can do that, you can do it too. Like you can change your life too. You may not want to run 100 miles, and that's okay, but it'll change your life in other ways as well. So just think about it. It's honestly, I think, the mental side of things and your relationships and things like that is more of a positive benefit from quitting drinking than the actual like health side of things. I mean, yeah, people don't realize that alcohol is terrible for your health. If you don't believe it, just Google it. Give it a quick Google search what alcohol does to your body. Like it's not good. It disrupts everything. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, your sleep, your hormones, everything, your mood. It's bad for anxiety and depression. So yeah, those are big things, but I think you can get other benefits that are even more important from it. So for me, like, developing a relationship with God was a big one for me. Improving my relationship with my wife, that was huge. So I think all those benefits were meant even more to me than just cutting out the alcohol for health purposes because I'm gaining weight from it, or I'm not progressing in the gym from it because it's just too many calories. And don't forget, when you drink and you get a little drunk, you make terrible eating decisions. You eat junk food. You eat a bunch of fried food, greasy foods, wings, burgers, fries, because when you're a little tipsy, that sounds great. It does, and it probably tastes great too. But you're adding that on top of the alcohol, so it just gets worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all. That's pretty much my little spiel that I have for y'all. Again, I want to leave y'all with saying that I'm not anti-alcohol by no means. Like, if you want to drink alcohol and you can do it responsibly, then go for it. Do it. Like, I don't see if you want to do it yourself in your life, go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna not like you. I'm not gonna judge you because you drink alcohol. Like, it don't bother me. But I do think there's benefits to quitting, to not doing it anymore. I do think, and if you can, then I would encourage you to do it, to stop. But if you don't want to, I can't tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I can't change your mind for you. But I will tell you that it is a positive if you stop. Like, there's a lot of things that come out of it. And think about it. Like, really think about it. If you like to drink, think about what does it do for you? Like, what positive things are you getting out of it? Like, what good is it for doing for you in your life? And what can you not, like, why can't you do those things sober? You know what I'm saying? Like what would happen if you went out on the boat and you didn't drink alcohol? Like nothing. Like you could still go out on the boat, have a good time, soak up the sun, fish, whatever you're going to do. You can still do all those things and not drink. Like you don't have to have alcohol. I think a lot of things that people do, they relate it to alcohol. So when they do those things, they feel like they have to do that, which is just simply not the case. Like just because you go out on the boat or you're going to, you're doing, I don't know, if you're going to Mardi Gras or whatever, like those things are associated with drinking, but like you don't have to do that. Like you can still go and enjoy yourself and not drink, you know what I'm saying? Or just because you're watching college football on Saturday at your friend's house and y'all are having a little tailgate party, you can do that sober. Like you don't have to be drunk or be drinking to do it. So yeah, just think about that and try it. Try it for yourself. You'll realize quick that you don't really need it. It don't really do much positive for you. There's really no purpose in it. And I don't want to hear, I'll stand on this, I will die on this hill right here. I don't want to hear that bull crap of alcohol tastes good. It don't taste good. Yeah, you probably have an acquired taste for it by now. So you think it tastes good because you have an acquired taste for it. But for being realistic, it don't taste good. I mean, come on. If you had, well, the first time you ever drank alcohol, you probably thought it was terrible. Like it did not taste good. And yes, as you drink it more, it tastes better. But it don't taste good compared to like a soda. You know what I'm saying? A soda is 10 times better than alcohol, 100%. So I don't want to hear that, oh, I like it because it tastes good. No, that's bullcrap. It don't taste good. Drink a Coke, a Diet Coke, more specifically. That's way better than dang alcohol, than a beer or a mixed drink. So I don't want to hear that junk. It ain't better than some other drink. So don't tell me you drink alcohol because it tastes good. Like if you think it tastes good, buy a dang cream soda and drink a cream soda and tell me that junk ain't way better than alcohol. I'm just being honest. Don't get me wrong. I used to love drinking a Corona Light back in the day. Don't get me wrong. I like it. They taste good. But it's not better than drinking some other drink. Like there's way better drinks out there than an alcoholic drink, if we're being honest. Like I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I know you may have convinced yourself that they taste good, but it really ain't. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to leave y'all with today. I challenge y'all. No, you don't have to go 2 years. But I challenge you. Try to do it for a month. See if you can go a month. Don't drink. See what it does for you. If you don't like it, hey, start drinking again. That's on you. If you like it, see where you can go see where you can go from there. See what it does for you. Especially if you're trying to hit a fitness goal, you need to stop. For real. Like if you're trying to hit a fitness goal, if you're trying to lose weight, especially, drinking is not helping you in any way. It's doing nothing but hurting your goals. Even if you're trying to you have performance goals. If you're trying to get better at running, or if you're trying to get stronger, like alcohol is affecting that too. In every way. It's affecting your sleep. It's affecting you. You're being able to recover from workouts, which is going to it's going to hinder your results, period. So if you have a fitness goal, it's in your best interest to stop. But honestly, there's so many other reasons to stop too on top of that it just makes it worth it. Like the pros of stopping way outweigh the cons. Like it's not even close. The pros of stopping and being sober is way more than the cons. So if you look at it that way, it's really a no-brainer. Like there's really no reason for you to argue against it. I promise you, you don't need that alcohol to have fun, to have a good time. You can do it without it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna quit rambling now. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Hope y'all have a great day. Think about it. And it may not be alcohol for you. It may be something else. Maybe something else is holding you back. Whatever that thing is, y'all go tackle y'all's giant today. Do it. Overcome it. Y'all got this. I believe in y'all. Peace, love, protein. We out.